Today we'll learn about Charlemagne. Well, not this Charlemagne the singer, but Charlemagne as many historians believe to be the father of Europe. Well, excuse me for this part, you know that I have to include this. You have to go to LODA-USD website and from there launch Clever. And from Clever launch Cengage Learning. It is where you'll find the World History book and launch the World History book using your student email and password. And from the left side, go to Unit 5. And from Unit 5, you go to Chapter 11. And of course, from Chapter 11, Section 1.2, pages 296 to 297. Charlemagne. The objective of this lesson is to discuss Charlemagne's rule and empire. And for the essential question for this chapter, how did Europe change during the Middle Ages? Charlemagne is a man of contrast, meaning he ruthlessly destroyed his enemies but loved learning. He was a tall, commanding figure but usually wore simple clothes. He received fabulous gifts from foreign kings but collected songs of ancient Germanic heroes. In spite of, or maybe because of, these contradictions, he became the first emperor in Western Europe since the fall of the Western Roman Empire. They didn't call this king the King of Franks, Charlemagne, or Charles the Great for nothing. Now let's take a look at the profile of Charlemagne or Charles the Great. Well, his job, he is the first emperor of the Holy Roman Empire, and his home is the kingdom of the Franks. Well, if you will divide his life into different aspects or areas, his finest hour is this. He united the Germanic kingdoms of Western Europe, and the Pope placed a crown on Charlemagne's head, proclaiming him the Emperor of the Romans. That by itself is an accomplishment. Well, let's talk about his hobbies. He's quite an outdoors man. He loves hunting and swimming. And additional trivia about his life, he could get by on a little sleep and sometimes woke his officials to hear the latest report or charge them with a new task. And how did he die? Well, he died doing his favorite thing. After swimming in one of his favorite springs, he came down with a fever and died a week later. Charlemagne's two main goals during his reign was to unite all the Germanic tribes under his rule and to spread Christianity. So those are his two major goals or objectives during his reign. Well, he founded schools and protected the weak against injustice. Above all, he wanted to strengthen Christianity throughout his kingdom. Yes, he was able to achieve his goals in uniting Germanic kingdoms and spreading Christianity, but his method is questionable to say the least. After he conquered the Saxons, he declared that he would put to death anyone who refused to convert to Christianity. So how did he become an emperor? So the story or the background is this. The Pope passed laws that angered many nobles, and because of this, there was an uprising. There was a rebellion. The Pope Leo, asked Charlemagne for help, and the king put the uprising down. Now, to express his gratitude, to thank him, Leo crowned Charlemagne Emperor of the Romans during a Christmas service in Rome. Charlemagne became the first German emperor that would later be called the Holy Roman Empire. The title recognized Charlemagne as the guardian of Christianity. It also fueled his passion to strengthen the church. By the time Charlemagne died in 814, he had created a strong Christian empire, which eventually led to the expansion of Christianity, not just in most areas of the European continent, but across the globe. Espíritu Santo, addition to these great accomplishments, Charlemagne not only conquered, expanded, united, he also stabilized his kingdom, his government. He established new laws to keep order and appointed officials to run faraway regions of the realm or the empire. Each year, Charlemagne called the officials to his court and kept tabs on them to make sure that they are still loyal to him. He also took care of his subjects very well. Now the question is Charlemagne a great or ruthless leader? Now the answer, of course, is subjective. It depends on how you want to measure greatness. But one thing is for sure, he get things done. Now let's go to the review and assess questions. Number 1, reading check. What were Charlemagne's or Charles the Great two main goals during his reign? Number 2, sequence of events. What happened after Charlemagne put down the uprising or rebellion in Rome? And number 3, make inferences or conclusions. How was Charlemagne a stabilizing or steadying force in Western Europe? Of course, you will need to put your answers to our review and assess assignments in our Google Classroom, and it's in lesson 1.2. You will need to put the title of this lesson, which is very easy, and don't forget the definition of the key vocab Saxons, and of course answer the questions that I just read a while ago, and put the answer in the right box in the slide provided in the review and assess assignment. And don't forget to make sure that you are writing in complete sentences.